is mine, nigga, get back.
What's up, fuckers? It's your boy Dity. These are the kinds of YouTube videos that I hate.
An exasperated mad hatted pumpkin, the exaggerated swagger of a white 20-something. His belly full of alcoholic rum gin. Vodka, beer, whiskey, shake it up, no vomiting. But his glass is not the truth of the matter. He look in the mirror, all he do is get fatter. Attracted to his money like cheese to a cracker, making shit videos, cause it's only manufacturers.
Very brief notice before we go ahead and get started here. For some of these categories, it'll be blatantly obvious who I'm talking about, even though I'm not going to bring up any names. Just do me a favor, don't harass anybody, even if you figure out who I'm talking about, okay? Most of the guys who make these kinds of videos are good people who just happen to make shitty content. If I find out you're harassing people, I'll come to your house and kill you. In addition, I've left some obvious picks like AI slop channels out. Everybody knows them, everyone thinks they're bad. I don't want to make a whole video basically saying grass is green. You know what I'm saying? Finally, I'm also leaving out reaction streamers because I might make a full video on them someday. So yeah, I think that's about it. Intro over.
Let's cut the shit.
Number 1, pred catches. Starting off with a hot one, aren't we? Yeah, I can't lie, I binge the fuck out of pred catch channels, but like, I don't think they're very good. A lot of them are just great junk food videos, the kind you put on while you're eating and then forget about within the next hour. The advantage that a lot of these videos have is that the focus is on the predator, not the guy making the video. So oftentimes, pieces of shit will run these channels and constantly take the moral high ground because, well, they're stopping pedophiles. The best way to run a pred catch channel is to just copy the Chris Hansen formula. Just lure a guy into a sting house, interview him, and make sure to get the police involved first. What so many of these channels will do is they'll either completely ignore this formula and do their own thing, or they'll try to abide by this formula but fuck up in the process. For example, I can't tell you how many times I've seen a pred catch video where the focus on the video isn't even on the predator. It'll be on the police who show up to the scene and are pissed because the video creator didn't go through all the proper channels to get the predator arrested. Yes, it is annoying having to play by the system, and yes, cops suck. Alright, don't walk away from this video thinking I'm some back the blue bootlicker, but you do want to get these guys arrested, right? Therein lies the problem. It's more profitable to have a freak out on police for views than it is to consistently catch predators. It's the same reason why some of these guys will spaz out on random civilians just doing their job or going about their day who don't want to randomly be filmed. Hello there, McDonald's worker. We have a source here that says you have a coworker who's a bit of a Dity blood. You mind telling us about that? You mind telling us where he is? Oh yeah, sure, that's fine, but could you not film me?
What? How dare you? Hey everybody! They're protecting a pedophile!
I don't think it's that fucking unreasonable to not want to be randomly a part of your little ego-fueling vigilante bullshit. And I mean, it gets even worse than that. You have guys that don't even get the predator arrested and just beat him up instead. Dumb. Guys who make little skits, which admittedly gets a chuckle out of me sometimes, but you know, time and place. Then you've got guys who can't interview for shit. Easy example, the EDP sting.
So we'll get to that. So you said, so 13 is the fantasy. Like for me, okay, I wouldn't do anything with a 17-year-old, but there's hot 17-year-olds. But I don't go, yeah, when I see a 17-year-old, just like, I can't do it. Like, it's just...
Another small thing I don't like is the constant censoring. These guys make so much fucking money, it's unreal. But they gotta censor dumb shit like 15-year-old girl in order to get full ads on a video. At a certain point, you just gotta look at the content you're making and think, hey, maybe I should just leave it in and not refer to statutory rape victims as cupcakes? Novel concept, I know. I think the thing I hate the most, though, is the fact that 90% of these fucking dudes are just doing it for their ego. They get a sick kick out of morally and legally being able to watch someone squirm beneath them. As long as they get good content out of it and feel morally superior by the end, they don't care if the guy they catch actually gets locked behind bars or not. And you know what? I wouldn't mind that so much if they were upfront about it. Like, yeah, dude, you caught a couple predators. Great job. Let your nuts hang. So many of them treat it like they're doing God's work though, and I can't stand that. They can't admit that the moment the money well dries up, they'd stop catching predators immediately. I might have taken a bit too long on this one, so let me wrap up. There are good pred catch channels out there, but I hate most of them. Sorry. In addition, just because I dared to speak my mind about how these channels operate, that doesn't mean I'm suddenly a pedophile as well. I'm not making another joke about my name. I've done it 1,000 times already. Number 2, sleep channels. 9 hours of obscure super monkey ball facts to fall asleep/study to. Gone wild. Honestly, from a monetary perspective, these videos are genius, but that doesn't mean I like them. I hate that we've gotten to the point where high-profile YouTubers are struggling financially so badly that they feel the need to put these long slop videos out there that do nothing but recycle content they've already made. Like, get your bag. I understand, it's tough out here. I have a sneaking suspicion that certain YouTubers absolutely do not need to do this though. I guess I just view it as an insult to the art form of making content. Like, if you're creating videos that are so boring that you can literally make whole compilations just to fall asleep to them, that kind of says something in and of itself, right? Mind you, you can accomplish the exact same thing by making a playlist and advertising that. But then how will it end up on the Explore page? Number 3, white guy talks at camera. I recognize the irony here. Surely you get what I mean by this though. Minimal editing, minimal production value, no music, just a guy talking at his camera about a recent event for just long enough to get some decent ad revenue out of it. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, is this a Moist critical diss? And the answer is kinda, but no, not really. He does do this, but I like him, so it's fine. He also makes other shit, whereas a lot of people who pump out this kind of content solely rely on it. I don't mind if you do this on like a second channel just to get some bread for your main content, but I won't lie, if I click on a video and it's just you staring at me the whole time, talking with no pizzazz and nothing to keep me engaged, I'm turning it the hell off. Using a webcam or a camera to record for your video as opposed to editing in footage or using an avatar can save a fuck ton of time when it comes to editing. So I fully understand doing it to cut corners in order to like bulk up your video. Or maybe you just like your own face. I don't know. I feel sexy sometimes. Don't we all? I just hate when there's no sauce behind it. When there's no cool editing, no bold personality, no emotion behind the voice. Or if there is a personality, it's like corporate as shit. They'll have some stupid name for their audience like My Ninjas or something. You know what I'm talking about, right? They'll be like, "What's up, my ninjas? Today we're going to be looking at the Epstein files. Be sure to like, subscribe, and to stay hydrated." You know what? Number 4 is any video that uses the phrase "stay hydrated." Literally any video that tells its audience to stay hydrated turns me off. Can we fucking stop with that, please? Number 5, joke video essays. I'm okay with these if they're funny. The problem is, most of the time, they're not funny.
Could Mr. X from Resident Evil join the NBA? Would Walter White be accepted into Agartha?
Those will be the titles and they'll somehow get like 15 minutes out of those stupid ass concepts. I respect the dedication at least. And before you say anything in the comments, yes, I've done a few of these and will probably do more of them at some point. But remember, my hatred of these is dependent on whether or not they're funny. If they're funny, it's fine. If they're not, I'm not watching. Oh, I get it, because I'm not funny, right? Great fucking joke. I'll do this whole video in darkness. Don't fucking test me. Number 6, clip channels that edit over the clips. Why?
Okay, and I'm surrounded by lunatics here.
We are surrounded by lunatics.
You're one of the lunatics. Like, you know what? This is the one thing I've learned tonight. I can't depend on anyone but myself, okay? So I gotta take care of myself. I gotta stay healthy. You know what? I'm gonna go to bed. That's what I should be. I'm gonna go to bed.
Go to bed? What are you, 40?
We're the same age.
If I'm looking for a clip, maybe of a streamer, maybe of a show, I want to see it undisturbed. Captions are fine, cuts are fine, but the moment I see an unfunny edit in a clip I'm trying to watch, I feel like biting a chunk out of my desk.
Enjoying the video? Here's your engagement check.
Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to support this channel and give commodity money to pay for insulin.
But why do I need to do all that? Isn't my view enough?
Viewing alone is great, but doing these 4 things pushes this video in YouTube's algorithm. And if you made it this far, here's this video's prompt of the day.
For this engagement check, comment what kind of videos you don't like. Remember that I'll be reading every single comment, even the shitty ones. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Stop licking yourself. Hey. Number 7, content cops. For whatever reason, Content Cop has had a bit of a resurgence ever since iDubbbz brought the series back solely to dump on Ethan Klein. He did it because Hassan told him to, I guess. I don't really know, and I don't really care. I kind of hate everyone involved in that story. But ever since iDubbbz brought the series back with one final dogshit video, a lot of YouTubers have just stolen the Content Cop moniker and have applied it to their own videos, usually attempting to mimic the style of the old Content Cops from 2016 era YouTube. The only problem is, a lot of these new ones suck. Say what you want about iDubbbz, whether it be back then or today, but he knew how to make an entertaining exposed video on pieces of shit who actually did deserve it, for the most part. It worked because the video was both engaging, for better or for worse, and he had valid points, sometimes. What these new Content Cops will do is they'll make a video on someone, usually someone in Ian's life, like his girlfriend, one of his streaming buddies, or whoever, and they'll just make a generic exposed video without any charm or substance. They're Content Cops in name only, a shallow mimicry that only seeks to boost the video's numbers while putting none of the effort in to warrant it. There is one guy who does put the effort in, and I actually really like his style and how well he adapts that feeling of pre-adpocalypse YouTube, but I don't like him for a different reason. You see, one of these new Content Cops very blatantly wants to fuck Ethan Klein. Like, genuinely he wants to do circles on it. And that's fine, nothing wrong with that, but it impacts the points he's trying to make in his videos, so that's kind of a problem. Number 8. Number 8 is great.
Who do we got today? We got Lang with a bang, vicious gaming.
Summaries of media disguised as something else. We sort of touched base on this in my video on video essays. Retrospectives that do nothing but recap the piece of media that they're covering. That's kind of self-explanatory. I feel like we've all run into a video or two like that, right? Recently, I've stumbled upon a few channels that try and disguise themselves as something other than that. For example, I have a guy I like to listen to who summarizes books in a way I really enjoy. I know I'm never gonna read them. The audiobooks are like 10 hours long. Sue me, I don't care. The thing I don't like is when they're labeled as an analysis or something. This guy'll summarize the book in full for like an hour. Then at the end for 5 minutes, he'll be like, yeah, I think the theme of this book is child neglect. Anyway, that's it. Video over. Bye-bye. And he's not the only one who does this, mind you. There are other people who will play a game in full and go minute by minute just describing what happens with nothing else to add. But then they'll label the video something like Lego Star Wars, a lesson in Freudian psychology.
Indubitably.
Then there are videos that recap stuff, but they'll have a gimmick. You ever seen one of these before? Like, they'll recap an entire movie, but there'll be an arbitrary thing they're keeping track of. I know I said I wasn't going to mention any names, but Kill Count and How to Beat are both great examples of this. No beef with them, by the way. I just think it's easier to explain what I'm talking about if I mention them. I guess the point I'm trying to make is this is much less of a rant on retrospectives like last time, and more so a rant involving their deceitful titles. If you're going to summarize shit, just be fucking honest. Number 9, gaming videos where they put captions over every word. If you do this, I hope you're paying your fucking editors well. Number 10, Lolcow Documentaries. I don't fucking care what Nova Online is up to, alright? I don't. The thing I hate about these videos the most is that it feels like they're desperately trying to make the next Chris Chan. You wanna know why early Chris Chan infatuated people so much? It's because his life was genuinely like a fucking Saturday morning cartoon. The trolls were horrible people, but their comedic antics combined with Chris's childlike attitude made the Chris Chan story what it is. Every lolcow since then has just been, this guy touches kids, or this guy's life is being actively ruined by drugs. There's a reason people watch Geno Samuel's Chris Chan documentary despite it being longer than One Piece. It's because he documents everything completely straight. There's no bits, there's no malice, you just get to watch everything unfold in real time, and I mean everything. You know what he did. My point is, there's no topping Chris Chan. You just can't. Stop trying to make it happen. Otherwise, most of these videos are just kind of boring and exploitative, so it's a solid thumbs down for me either way. Number 11, D&D content. All of it. Just fucking all of it. It's all bad. I like Critical Role. I like Joe Cat.
Pretty kitty girls.
That's about it. I don't know if you guys knew this about me. I've dropped hints about it in the past. I fucking love D&D. It's genuinely my biggest pastime outside of YouTube. I think in total, I've played at least like 5,000 hours over Discord and Roll20. So obviously, when my love of D&D started leaking into my YouTube searches and eventually my homepage, I got a bit upset at how shit everything on D&D YouTube was. Like, Jesus Christ, I was genuinely considering starting a second channel for D&D solely because of how little good content there is for it. The skits are fucking unbearable. D&D class stereotypes have got to be like a bottom 5 jokes ever made for me. Oh, the rogue is edgy. Oh, the bard fucked the dragon. Oh, the paladin is lawful good. Oh, I'm clicking on another video. It is really ironic that a game that promotes sweaty nerds coming out of their bedroom tombs to essentially put on a performance in front of an audience simultaneously creates some of the strongest charisma vacuums to ever exist. You'd think a lot of these dudes running these channels would, after years of basically being a part of board game improv groups, would learn to be, a little funnier. You've also got dudes who have the worst takes on the game imaginable, and really that's true for all games on YouTube, but with how loosey-goosey D&D rules are, it just amplifies the problem. I have seen a motherfucker with a straight face tell me through my goddamn screen that Ranger was better in combat than Rogue. What on earth are you smoking? As an aside, this is an elite reference for some of you, okay? That 44 Rules guy? He low-key had some good points, and I'm tired of pretending he's D&D Hitler. You've got guys who will come up with all sorts of broken and OP strategies for one-shotting the BBG and deliberately attempting to inspire DM headaches. Like, yeah, dude, you're such a Sigma badass for using creation to put shrapnel in the BBG's bloodstream. You're definitely going to be everyone's favorite player at the table for trying to kill all dramatic tension by doing that. Thumbs up. But all of that pales in comparison to the worst subgenre of D&D YouTube, which ties in nicely to the final entry on this list. Number 12, Reddit horror stories. I first came across this type of video through tabletop horror stories, but it's found prominence in all sorts of places. r/am I the asshole, r/no sleep, etc. You've seen these videos before. 5 disturbing stories from Reddit, or Reddit user asks, what's the craziest thing that happened in your school? What these videos will do is they'll take a story from Reddit, read it in full, and occasionally, if you're lucky, they'll give some insightful commentary, which is usually just some variation of saying, damn, that's crazy. If you're lucky enough to find one of these videos not being read by an AI, then usually it's being read by the most milquetoast, unfunny motherfucker ever with no swag and no panache. I think you might be sensing a pattern by this point. I just really hate basic bitches. Like I said previously, I got introduced to these videos from tabletop horror stories, and I hate them in particular, because with them, it's always the same shit.
Greetings, adventurers, and welcome back to the half-orc horror story barbarian encampment, where we take pride in the stories we tell, both cringe and based. This video story comes from our subreddit, written by user Jeremy Crawford's Big Fat Nuts. It's titled, How a Neck-Bearded Loser Managed to Ruin My Perfectly Good D&D Game. Sit back, grab some mead, and enjoy. I'm a normal guy, not what you'd consider a stereotypical nerd. I love D&D, but have yet to play in any actual games. I just like watching Critical Role. I saw a greasy-looking man handing flyers out at my local Arby's. Curiously, I wandered over.
Are you bored yet?
He gazed at me longingly and explained he was running a D&D 5th edition campaign in his mother's basement. Now, I must reiterate, I am not a nerd. I am an alpha male. Yet, I was free the day he was planning on hosting, so I told him I'd be there. The night of the first session arrived. His fine-ass mother greeted me at the door and welcomed me downstairs. When I arrived, there was a stench brewing that smelled like moldy fungus and cum jars. In the room, there were 4 other people, one of which was an extremely attractive-looking girl. Not that I care or anything, I was simply there to play D&D. When rolling for characters, I took a look at what everyone was playing. They have no relevance to the story, but I'll describe them in detail anyway. We had a dwarven barbarian,
I'm only
an elf
slightly
wizard,
exaggerating,
and a human
by the way.
fighter. The extremely attractive woman, who I then learned was named Emily J. Fitzgerald, born January 7th, 1998, and lives at was playing an Aasimar cleric of Lythander. Not that it matters to the story or anything, but I was playing a half-tabaxi, half-warforged amputee swashbuckler rogue.
Who planned on multiclassing into Ancestral Guardian Barbarian.
His name was Stimpy, and he was devoted to Shar, but he felt as though his religious beliefs clashed against his sexual orientation.
Anyway, we all met in a tavern. We were 5 minutes into the campaign. Suddenly, the DM described how the bartender was eyeing up Emily's character.
The bartender is low-key giving you rape eyes, twin.
He licked his big-ass chapped lips as he said this and twiddled his mustache. Emily didn't know what to say and cowered in fear like the foid she was. I jumped up on the table and said, "How dare you!" before beating the DM to a bloody pulp with my bare hands. I walked out of his house with both Emily and his hot-ass mom. I thankfully found a much better D&D group a few months later, and we've been playing in the same campaign since then. I must reiterate once more, I'm not a nerd. Thank you. Wow. That just happened. So, what did we learn here? Obviously, the DM was in the wrong, as is usually the case. I can't believe so many people would do such things to the few female players we have in the TTRPG community. Men. Anyways, this video is sponsored by Fatal RPG.
So, what did we learn today? I'm a very hateful person and I'm projecting because my content sucks. Don't take anything I say here to heart unless you're a reaction streamer, in which case I hate you. Merry fucking Christmas, everyone.
You see, the joke here is that I took over a month to get this video out. Because I said that at the end thinking I'd actually get it out on Christmas. My, how a fool I was.
Bitch, and you know we run the city, bitch. How much I gotta pay for a titty pic?
Arigato for watching this video, and be sure to subscribe to Dity channel. That would be super cigar.